Most people think retiring early is about earning more money, but that is only half true. Let's take a 25-year-old who earns 1 lakh per month after tax, spends 50,000 and starts investing 25,000 every month from scratch. No existing investments, no inherited money, nothing already compounding. Now here's a real question. Can this person retire at 50? What about 45? What about 40? The answer changes dramatically because of one thing most people ignore.
First, let's create this person's financial life on screen. They are 25 years old. Their take home income is 1 lakh per month. Their expenses are 50,000 per month. Their current invested corpus is zero. So they are starting from scratch. Now, out of this 1 lakh income, they are investing 25,000 per month. And every year, we'll assume that they increase their SIP by 5%. So this year, they invested 25,000 per month. Next year, it becomes 26,250 and so on. This is called a step up SIP. For our calculation here, I'm assuming three assumptions. First, the investment, the rate of return is 12%. Second, the inflation is 6% per year. And third, the withdrawal rate is 3%. Now, before we calculate when this person can retire, let's first understand something very important. What does withdrawal rate actually mean? So, after retirement, how much of your total retirement corpus can you withdraw every year to fund your life without a high risk of running out of money too early? That is called withdrawal rate. Many people have heard of the 4% rule. The 4% rule says that if you have a retirement corpus, you may be able to withdraw around 4% of it every year without you running out of money. In this video, we are talking about early retirement. So I'm using a more conservative 3% withdrawal rate here. Now the formula becomes simple. Annual expenses divided by the withdrawal rate equals the retirement corpus. Annual expenses are 6 lakhs. Withdrawal rate is 3%. So 6 lakhs divided by 3% equals 2 crores. That is our retirement number. That means if this person wanted to fund a 50,000 per month lifestyle in today's money, they would need roughly 2 crores. This is where many people stop. They say, okay, I need 2 crores to retire, but that is incomplete because this person is 25. They're not retiring today. They may retire 15, 20, or 25 years from now, and inflation completely changes that number. Let's look at how inflation affects this person. Today, this person spends 50,000 per month, but if inflation is 6%, the cost of the same lifestyle keeps increasing every year. This does not mean that they are living a more luxurious life. This is the same lifestyle, but because of inflation, the cost goes up. If this person retires at 50, the same lifestyle becomes roughly around 2.15 lakhs per month. The first big lesson is this. Your retirement number is not based on what your life costs today. It is based on what your life will cost when you actually retire. That is the inflation effect. Using the 3% withdrawal rule, this person would roughly need 8.6 crores to retire at the age of 50. Let's look at that here. Now, the question is how much do they need to invest every month today to reach that number? The calculator shows that to retire at 50, this person needs roughly 37,000 per month, right? So, let's see here. Now, compare that with their current SIP. They are currently investing 25,000 per month. So, retiring at 50 is not impossible, but 25,000 per month is not enough. They need to increase their SIP meaningfully. This is the first practical takeaway. If you are 25 and you're earning 1 lakh per month, retiring at 50 may be possible, but only if your investments improve over time. Now let's make it more aggressive. What if this person wants to retire at 45? How do the numbers look that time? Now they only have 20 years to invest. At age 45, today's 50,000 per month lifestyle becomes roughly 1.6 lakh per month. The required retirement corpus becomes around 6.4 crores. To reach that corpus by age 45, the required monthly SIP today becomes roughly 50 to 55,000 per month. Now that is a big jump. The current SIP was 25,000. To retire at 45, this person may need to invest almost double that amount. And this is where early retirement becomes real. A lot of people casually say, oh, I want to retire by 45. But mathematically, retiring 5 years earlier does not mean saving just a little extra. It can mean massive jump in your monthly investment requirements. Why? Because you are reducing time. And in investing, time is one of your biggest advantage. If you take away time, you need to replace it with more money. Now let's go even more aggressive. What if this person wants to retire at 40? Let's see how that looks. They are 25 today. That gives them only 15 years now. At age 40, today's 50,000 per month lifestyle becomes around 1.2 lakh per month. Using the 3% withdrawal rate, they would need around 4.8 crores by the time they are 40. Now, this number may look lower than the corpus needed at age 50, but remember they only have 15 years to build it. That is the hard part. To build this corpus by age 50, The required SIP today becomes roughly 82,000 per month. Now think about this. Their income is 1 lakh per month after tax. And to retire at 40, they would need to invest around 80,000 per month. That is almost 80% of their income. So is retiring at 40 impossible? No. But with this income and this expense level, it is not realistic unless something major changes. For example, if this person keeps the SIP at 25,000 per month and only increases the step up from 5% to 10% every year, that helps, but it still only builds roughly 2 crores by age 40. The target is around 4.8 crores. So a higher step up alone is not enough. But instead of investing 80,000 per month with a 5% step up, if they invest roughly 62,000 per month with a 10% yearly step up, that takes them to the retirement goal. That is still aggressive, but it is much more realistic than the 80,000 per month that we were talking about before. So the real answer is this: retiring at 40 is possible only if income grows fast, lifestyle does not grow at the same speed, and the SIP increases aggressively every year. And this is the real lesson from this example. You do not get to randomly choose your retirement age. Your money habits choose it for you. Now take a look at the graph. This graph has two lines. One line shows your investment portfolio growing over time, which is this blue line. That line grows because you're investing every month. You are increasing your SIP every year. That is the power of compounding. The second line shows you your required retirement corpus, which is the orange line. That line also keeps going up because inflation keeps increasing your future expenses. So this graph is basically a race. One line is your wealth growing through compounding. The other line is your retirement target rising because of inflation. The point where these two lines meet is the point where retirement becomes mathematically possible for you. So retirement is really a race between compounding and inflation. So if you're watching this and you're in your 20s or 30s, here's the final takeaway. A 1 lakh salary sounds good. A 25,000 monthly SIP is also a great start. But if this person is starting from scratch with zero existing corpus, then the retirement age depends on one brutal question. How much do they invest? How fast do they increase? And how much time do they give compounding? So don't just say, I want to retire at 40. Open a calculator, put in your income, put in your expenses, put in your current investments, and ask, what monthly SIP does my retirement age actually demand? The answer may shock you, but it will also give you clarity. And in personal finance, clarity is more powerful than motivation.